when there's no more room in hell, the dead will listen to Bloodfest, the podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Bloodfest, the podcast. I'm your host, Nate. Y'all know me, know how I earn a living. I'm joined tonight by my good friend, Casey. Casey, have you been completely crushed by the huge stack of Blu-rays you got from Vinegar Syndrome?
Pretty close. Pretty close. I've definitely got a lot of stuff I got to get through. It was quite a box. It was like 25.
25.
movies.
Jesus, 25 movies.
And this shirt.
Oh, you got a shirt. Hold it up higher. Hold it up higher.
Yeah, first time I got a Vinegar Syndrome shirt.
Nice. So, what's the standout so far? Before you even dig into it, what's like the item that's like most sexy?
God. Well, the most sexy would definitely be Showgirls.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the best movie, but that's a really sexy box and pretty sexy film. I did watch so far The Boogeyman and Night Screams.
How was The Boogeyman?
They're both good. I've actually seen The Boogeyman before. I didn't realize I had. I think I've seen it like twice.
Yeah. Well, see, there's a new The Boogeyman that just came out. So so now you have to duel the two of them.
Yeah.
So what about A Blade in the Dark, the Lamberto Bava movie?
That's probably next on my list.
Yeah.
That's a really killer box. That's the best looking box out of all of them.
It's like angular, right? So
it
comes apart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just...
So there's like a girl's hand that's like got a blade through it, and then as you pull it apart, then it shows like the hand opening up, and then it shows all the gore.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's awesome.
That's awesome. So joining us tonight, as sort of usual, is our friend Lydia. So Lydia, how are things down there in that circle of hell that you've been living in?
Oh, not very interesting lately. I haven't had a lot going on. So I've had 3 days off work, so I'm trying to get back into work mode tomorrow.
Wait a minute. So are the scorpion ninja locusts with like human heads but lion manes not attacking you anymore? I mean, is it getting boring down there? What's going on?
Yeah, kind of. It's got quiet,
All right.
None of that. No demons, bugging me. No ghosts.
All right. So now, normally we'd have Josh here. But Josh has done something interesting. I say that he has Marvined out on us. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Reservoir Dogs.
A long time ago.
Yeah, well, yeah. So there's a scene where Tim, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name.
Roth?
Yes, thank you. Tim Roth tells the cop who's just had his ear cut off, he says, "Don't pussy out on me now, Marvin." So when someone completely pussies out, I say they've Marvined. So, yeah, that's what happened to Josh. He Marvined on us. Now, of course, we also have our good friend Joey here tonight. And before I say hi to Joey, I want everybody to look at the screen. I want you to look at that creepy-ass fucking logo that's up there. And I want y'all to think about that creepy-ass fucking opening that we just premiered tonight. Because that's Joey. Joey, how the hell did you come up with that shit?
I have no clue.
Of course.
Just around with it for hours on end.
Where'd you find the clown at?
Yeah.
Some royalty-free site at it, and I just ran with it.
All right.
Cool. Well, I like it. It kind of reminds me of a freak show type.
Oh, yeah. I see that.
Yeah, it was several days, a lot of more hours than I care to admit. Especially when I'm not getting paid for this shit.
Right.
Wait, you're not getting paid? Casey pays me. He Venmos me every week. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I still wonder why my office is down in the basement.
So we were going to have a guest tonight, and I'm not going to say what her name is, but we thought she was pretty cool. Oh shit, yeah. But anyway, this is the second time we were gonna have her on and she didn't show. So we are playing by ear tonight, and we just threw out into the chat, what the fuck are we gonna talk about? And I think it was me that said, let's talk about the greatest film that was ever written and directed by cocaine. So we're gonna talk about Maximum Overdrive. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar, there's this guy. He used to be kind of famous, wrote some books and stuff. What's his name, Lydia?
I think
Summers?
Stephen King.
King, that's it. Yeah, he's one of the minor writers that you don't hear much about. But in the 80s, Dino De Laurentiis gave him a 3-picture deal to write and direct movies. And the very first movie he wrote and directed was Maximum Overdrive. It is based, and when you say based, you have to put like huge fucking quotation marks around it, based on King's short story Trucks. Now, Trucks first appeared in Cavalier magazine in like 1974, 75, somewhere around there. And if you're not familiar with Cavalier, so it was basically, what if Hustler were really fucking dirty, but also we put some short stories in there. That was Cavalier. So it was tits and horror stories, what it was. Mm-hmm. And that's how King made his money, actually, before Carrie made him famous, was he wrote short stories that went into shitty nudie mags and stuff. Now, Trucks is a simple, gritty, grimy, ugly little story. So there's some people in a truck stop, and for some reason, we don't know why, all of the semis come to life. Not the cars, just the semis, and the semis attack people in the truck stop and basically want those people to pump gas, and they try to fight back and it doesn't go well, and at the end they're pumping gas, and the main character looks up at some planes flying over and he hopes that there are people in them, but probably not. And that's the story. So when King gets paid millions of dollars to make movies, the first thing he thinks is, I'm going to snort this entire pound of cocaine, and then I'm going to turn that gritty little simple story into an extremely campy, stupid, very 1980s thing. And it's going to star Emilio Estevez. And the difference between Maximum Overdrive and Trucks, other than the tenor of the whole thing. So Trucks is gritty, it's dark, it's an unhappy story. Maximum Overdrive is goofy and over the top. The difference is largely that instead of trucks attacking people, it's basically anything mechanical comes to life. So you get an electric carving knife that goes batshit and cuts into a lady. You get a steamroller that pops a guy's head like a melon, which honestly is awesome. You have a vending machine that shoots cans of soda at people. You get an ATM that calls Stephen King an asshole. You get the whole thing. The radios go nuts. It's all of it. The other change is, instead of just being this little bottle episode of a story about these people in a truck stop, we're going to spend a lot of time getting people into a truck stop, and then we're going to figure out that for some reason this truck stop has a basement full of military-grade weapons. We're talking machine guns, we're talking fucking RPGs, we're talking flamethrowers. They've got it all. Why? I don't know. It's a fucking truck stop in the 80s. What are you going to do? So it's the whole story about how Emilio Estevez and Yardley Smith, who is honestly very annoying in this, even more annoying than when she's Lisa Simpson, but also weirdly sexy, and I can't explain why. There's something about Yardley Smith in this movie that just, it does it for me. I mean, I assume you're the same way, right, Casey? You see Yardley and you're like, oh yeah, come here, Lisa.
No, I hated her in with the Legend of Billie Jean too.
Yeah, I love that movie.
That's a great movie, but I don't
but
like her.
But when I see her, I always think of Putter. Her character.
I haven't seen that since I was a kid. What the hell was that even about? It
was the girl, the teenage girl, and her brother was Christian Slater. And he got his bike stolen from these other guys. Well, when she went to go get the money for the bike from this guy's dad, who was like a rich guy in town, had a business or whatever, he tried to basically make a deal with her that she would sleep with him and then he'd pay her as they went. Okay. And she didn't want to do that. And the brother came in with a gun he found a gun in the register or something. I can't remember exactly. I think it was in the register. Christian Slater's character, and shot that guy in the shoulder, and then they went on the run, and
Okay.
that's what it was about, was them trying to
Okay.
run and keep from getting arrested, basically.
Okay, and how does that connect up with Gleaming the Cube?
Christian Slater's in it. That's about
Christian
it.
Slater's in it.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. So same as Pump Up the Volume. It's the same narrative thread, right?
Yep.
All right. So does Christian Slater do his like Jack Nicholson impersonation in it, or was this pre-Nicholson Slater?
Pre-Jack Nicholson. Yeah.
Okay. That makes it much less interesting to me. Okay,
Yeah.
so anyway, Yardley Smith and Pat Hingle, who was Commissioner Gordon in Tim Burton's Batman in 1989. So Hingle plays the guy who owns or runs the truck stop. I don't know. It's never really very clear. And he is the one who knows about all of the military-grade weapons. And we get outside the truck stop several times. So there's a Little League team that gets attacked. That's where we get the wonderful soda machine just kicking out cans of pop at people's nuts and stuff. I think it actually kills one person.
It does.
And then it becomes a whole will they survive, won't they survive thing. And honestly, it's nuts. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And so, Casey, I know you haven't done the research on this. You know what the next film Stephen King made was after that?
Christine?
No, nothing. Nothing ever again. He never made the other two movies. He blinded the director of photography. He and Dino De Laurentiis ended up spending millions of dollars to settle the lawsuit. And then he said he would never return to Hollywood. And King explained what was wrong with the movie by saying, and I quote, "I was out of my mind on cocaine and didn't know what I was doing."
Yep.
So,
Even the trailer,
Wow.
like the trailer, I watched that today again for the first time and thought that I forgot he did the introduction.
yeah, I'm going to scare
And
the
he
hell
says
out of
in it,
you.
I'm going to scare the hell out of you.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is so cheesy. It's just cheesy.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
it's so bad you love it.
But, okay, you know what's perfect about that film?
What's that?
The music.
Yes.
AC/DC.
AC/DC, top to bottom, AC/DC. Nothing
All
with
AC/DC.
AC/DC. Yeah.
There's
Which
even
I
a car at the beginning with AC/DC
on
logo on it.
on the drawbridge. Yeah,
Yeah.
on the drawbridge. That's something else. The drawbridge comes to life. I mean,
Yes.
that's crazy. So now my favorite thing about this is that the movie actually explains it. Whereas the story Trucks is just like, I don't know, trucks came to life. But in the movie, Earth passes into the tail of a comet, and then everything comes alive. And then we only hear, like on the radio, that the Army shot down a UFO, and then we pass out of the tail of the comet, and it's all over. So apparently the aliens did it. It's honestly probably my least favorite X-Files episode, I think. Yeah. So I don't know. So I love Stephen King. I've read every Stephen King novel. I've read like almost all of his short stories. If it's been out there to the point when I was a kid, you know, you'd get the new King book and you'd open it up, and in the front also by Stephen King, and there'd be a big list of stuff. And I got one book, and there's a title I never heard of. It's called The Dark Tower. What the fuck is this? I go to the bookstore. They're like, we don't know. Can't find it. Not in the system. We don't know. My aunt wrote to Stephen King's agent for me to ask, what the fuck? What's this book? How do we get it? But no response. And then, of course, it turned out that it was originally only in like an edition of like 400 copies or something, numbered and signed, blah, blah, blah. And it would take forever before it actually came out, but where everyone else could get it. But that's how big I was into Stephen King. There's a book I don't know about. I'm going to, have my aunt write to his agent. By the way, his agent was an asshole. He didn't write back. Little kid's aunt asking about a book, don't write back. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck that
Sounds like
guy.
an agent.
Yeah. So that's how much I love him. And this movie is so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to say that we should rate this movie on a scale of 1 to Green Goblin faced semi.
Wait, 1 to what? Did you say 1 to 2?
1 to Green Goblin faced semi.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. 1 to 2. Is it a 1 or a 2?
1 or 2.
1 or 2.
It's no better than.
It's binary. It's on or off. On or off. I don't know. Anyway, I love Maximum Overdrive. Guys, tell me what you like or hate about Maximum Overdrive.
It's cheesy fun. The one scene that stands out to me is there's also like some kids playing on a baseball field, and there's like a steamroller that comes through trying to run them all down. That was awesome.
Pops that guy's head.
Ran a kid over, like a little kid over.
Yeah, they don't show a lot of that stuff in the film, so.
They need to kill more kids in movies.
Yeah, well, I think
for sure.
Kind of enjoys that kind of.
Yeah, well, you know, it's like he killed the kid in Cujo. He killed the kid in Pet Sematary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he likes to kill kids, evidently.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't, really? You know, best scene in a movie ever is that Robert Rodriguez movie, Planet Terror. It was half a Grindhouse. Little kid shoots himself in the face after being warned about shooting himself in the face.
That was gut-wrenching, though, honestly.
It's so good. It's so good.
It is good, but God, the mom just hearing that happen and knowing what happened.
Awesome. Lydia?
Yes. What did I like about Maximum Overdrive? I like the fact that it made absolutely no fucking sense. He threw logic to the wind with this thing. So, you know, I do like 80s cheesy movies. And
me too.
They're fun. They're fun. They're not supposed to make sense. That's the point.
I got into an 80s thing the last few days. I watched Bloodsport. I watched Cobra. And then I watched Predator. It's like back to back to back.
Wow.
Yeah, love the 80s. I really think I need to go and see if I can get into the Kumite after seeing Bloodsport again.
I don't think I've actually seen that. I haven't seen that or Cobra.
Oh, okay. So,
it's been a long time since I've seen Bloodsport. So I don't remember a whole lot about it, but
if you like martial arts style type movies, Bloodsport is really top tier. It's actually surprisingly really good.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? Or Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah. It's Jean-Claude. It's like the movie that made him famous.
Yes.
Like it's
and
the
he
one
does
that,
famous splits in him. And,
Yep. There's that thing with there's a stack of bricks. He's on the top, and the bottom brick explodes. Awesome. Super realistic. Cobra, on the other hand, is terrible. You should watch it.
That's Sylvester Stallone, right?
Yeah. He plays Cobretti. Yeah.
We so I know we already talked about this, and you guys know that my wife and I went to Monster Palooza last weekend in Pasadena, California, and they had a museum there with a bunch of figures and stuff, and they had a Cobra set up. They had like Cobra's car, and then Cobra standing next to it.
Nice.
That's cool.
Nice.
Why didn't we include any pictures or videos from Monster Palooza?
Yeah, why didn't we?
Good question. I thought about that like right before the show, but it was like, it's too late.
We'll save it for like next week or something.
Right, we'll restart.
We'll throw...
Restart.
Restart. It's like bedtime.
I didn't get like the bed. Like, I mean, I guess I got a lot of pictures of the museum for sure.
Yeah.
But and then I got some pictures of some of the booths and stuff. But there wasn't. I mean, mostly it was just like it was so crowded, and it was just kind of trying to weave in and out of people and trying to get in. You know, it was just there were so many people there. It was nuts.
Yeah, I bet. But it was amazing.
So it was cool.
When we go to Crypticon, we'll get some good stuff. We'll talk to people.
Yeah, Crypticon's pretty crowded too. I've been there, as well. But yeah, it's tough. And like you couldn't see the only stars that we saw, like I saw Skeet Ulrich.
Cool.
Saw him multiple times. Like one time he was just like walking down the hall, like right by it.
Did you talk to him?
No. I'm too scared to just randomly.
See, I would have just done that.
I'm not that kind of person.
He's just a dude.
I know, he's just a person. I'm sure he'll be friendly. But, you know,
I have that kind of standoffish deal if I see somebody like that.
I just march right up.
It's like, I don't know. I just don't want them to disappoint what I think they are, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
See, me, I just walk right up. Hey, Skeet, come here. I got some questions for you.
The guy, I don't remember his name, but he's been in some other stuff. But he was in the Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the main guy in that one.
Oh, okay.
He was like the first one, right when you walked in. I saw him. He had like I know I've seen him in other stuff in like the '80s.
See, I would again. I would just
then,
like, yo, killer clown dude.
But yeah, other than that, I didn't really. I mean, there was other places, for them, and they just weren't there. And then some of the more high-profile people, I think, were somewhere else because we didn't even see them at all. But I know, like Robert Englund, he canceled because he got COVID.
Oh no!
So I'm sure a lot of people were sad about that.
Yeah.
And then Bruce Campbell, he canceled because I can't remember why, but something came up and he had to cancel last minute.
He had gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea? Yeah, that's what we heard. We heard Bruce Campbell has gonorrhea. You heard it here first, guys. We're breaking the news. Bruce Campbell has gonorrhea again.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of a lot of stuff we went to was just we saw people getting makeup put on. Like we saw the I can't. Her name is V. I think V Neal. She was in Face Off, and she did like Pirates of the Caribbean, and Edward Scissorhands. So she was there doing makeup. So that was kind of cool. So walk by and see her right there. And there was a lot of like we saw Vinegar Syndrome there. There was some others, Severin. It's like I already had all the shit, or I already had it on the way, so I didn't buy anything. There was some other booth set up with just tons of movies I wanted to buy. This one guy had all sorts of like rare Mondo Macabro stuff and just all sorts of things, but way too much money. Like every one we went to, like I'd look it up to see what people were selling for on eBay or whatever, and they were way overpriced at the con. So the only thing I picked up there was I picked up these two things. So this is the bloater zombie off of Lucio Fulci's Zombie.
Oh, that's hot.
So I've got the other one. I know it's kind of hard to make out.
How much that run you?
So this was $80, and that's the retail price. So
that's
what you'll buy them for on Amazon. This was really expensive. So this is
Tarman.
This is from what is that? Trick or Treat Studios. But yeah, this guy was very expensive. It was like $160. By far the most expensive. What my wife would call doll that I've ever bought. But like his arms move, and he has a brain that he can put in his hands, and you can switch out his head. But I couldn't pass this up, and this is the same price it is on the website. So again, it wasn't they weren't like scalping me for it. So.
I would 100%. So the bloater definitely I'd pay like 84. I don't know about 160.
Yeah,
that's a lot of movies I can.
Yeah, but my wife and I's anniversary is tomorrow, and she's like, well, this will be your anniversary present. So I was like, okay, cool.
Nice gift.
Yep.
All right. Outstanding. Anything else exciting from Monsterpalooza?
Not really. It was, the weather was great. So, it was like 60 to 70 degrees. So it wasn't like scorching hot. I know it was like 90 here.
Yeah, it was hot here.
As far as the Monsterpalooza itself, no, not really. We bought some $5 Cokes, which was crazy. just a can of soda was $5. So that was great. But no, not really. Afterwards, like before we came home, we flew into Long Beach, and we went to this Village place on the way out, and went and bought some clothes and stuff at the souvenir shop. Went and ate at a nice, like indoor bar. We ate some breakfast there. Looked at the boats and stuff. It was kind of cool.
So you were in Long Beach, California?
Yep.
I hear there's a lot of drama in LBC.
We did see some this dude. He was definitely like on meth or something. Like he was just out there, just like yelling at nobody and just waving his arms all over and moving funny, and that was a little weird. Pasadena was beautiful. We stayed at like the Pasadena Hotel downtown. We walked everywhere. There was shops and restaurants and stuff all over the place. We ate at some local Mexican restaurant that was fantastic. A local Italian place with outdoor seating. It was a good time.
Cool. And Lydia, what did you do?
I pretty much have been watching YouTube and BuzzFeed. The guys from BuzzFeed Unsolved. I like them a lot, so I've been trying to catch up on episodes that I missed, and that's pretty much it.
So you haven't been like setting up a new web profile and getting ready to do a podcast, or
well, I don't know if I'm going to actually do the podcast yet because I don't have the equipment to do it yet. But I figured I'd just go ahead and start, and I have a page. It's Morbid Lydia on Facebook. You can find me there.
So at Morbid Lydia?
And at Morbid Lydia 77 on TikTok. And I've been posting like strange and unusual facts that I just find are fascinating and want to share them with other people. And
you did that thing about that guy that was in the place who did the stuff.
Oh, you want to hear about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I posted one, and it was a blind woman. She was also a hoarder, and she was elderly. Her son went missing sometime in the early 90s. Well, then in 2016, a relative, I guess, went into her home because she was a hoarder, and her house is filled with trash. And that relative found her son in the bed, fully clothed skeleton. She had been living in the same house with her son that was dead for over 20 years.
That's reminds me of my house. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I mean,
yeah, stuff like that. I find that stuff interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, so that actually, so the news hit that Ted Kaczynski was found dead, and they're covering. Yeah, they're covering it up. It's Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber.
I don't know why I thought his name wasn't Kaczynski.
I didn't either.
I don't know why
Kaczynski. Am I getting that wrong? No,
I think
Ted Kaczynski.
So. Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
Wait, what?
What?
No, you're right.
Okay.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Boy, my whole joke fell apart there too.
I guess.
Talk about how.
You know what I was thinking? I don't know why. I was thinking of that dude off The Office. What's his name? The guy who made
Rainn Wilson?
No, who made the Quiet Place or Quiet Ones?
Oh yeah, Quiet Place.
Kaminsky.
John
Krasinski.
Yeah. So for some reason, I don't know why I was like mixing up the names when you said that, and I was like, you about that dude?
I actually think that Krasinski might also be a bomber.
Yeah, no, I think he's not.
He made me watch The Quiet Place Part 2, and that was a bomb.
And they're making a third one.
Yeah, but the third one's a prequel, so maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second one was just unnecessary.
Yeah, kinda. It was. Yeah, I didn't see the point. Even though I love Cillian Murphy and everything he does, I couldn't get into that one.
Yeah, there was no reason.
The first one was amazing. They could have just left it alone.
So I'm not gonna say it was amazing, but it was effective.
Well,
it kills a kid early on, and as we all know, if you want a good movie, kill a child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that they made that whole movie and nobody really said a word. They didn't communicate at all. It was all body language and facial expressions. I think would be hard to pull off.
Here's my problem with that movie. And it's a problem I have with a lot of movies, actually, the sort of things. The end of the world, the monsters are after you, whatever, zombies, whatever. Mm-hmm. Why would you have a baby?
Right.
Why would you reproduce during that?
Yeah. I mean, accidents can happen, but...
There are condoms everywhere.
Yeah.
And let's assume that the condoms don't work for whatever reason. They still make wire hangers.
You're awful.
We're going to get canceled so quick.
Right?
What?
Yep.
Gonna have Amy Coney Barrett coming after me. Yeah. All right, guys. So anyway, to bring it back to what the hell were we talking about?
Maximum Overdrive. Already forgot about it.
Yeah. So to bring it back to Maximum Overdrive, I watched a new movie yesterday that I think we need to take a minute to talk about. So it just dropped on Shudder. It's written and directed by Ted Geoghegan, who made We Are Still Here, among other things. This movie is called Brooklyn 45, and it stars our dear friend Larry Fessenden. And I just want to say that this is a movie everybody should go check out. So the conceit is it's 1945 and it's Brooklyn, and this group of people come together in a home. Larry Fessenden, my friend, lives there, and what's going on is these are all people who served together in the military in World War II, and some of them actually have known each other since the First World War. And Larry's wife committed suicide recently, and he's drinking himself off the end of the cliff. Is what he's doing, and he calls everybody together, and they think just for moral support. But no, he wants to have a seance to try to contact his dead wife. And that's the setup for this movie. And the first act of the movie is 100%. It is the Larry Fessenden show. This is a showcase for his acting ability. And if you follow Fessenden like I do, you see him in a lot of stuff, but a lot of the movies that he's in, he plays a smaller role. He's someone who's in and out pretty quickly. We don't get that many chances to really see him, just get his teeth into a role. Honestly, I don't think I've seen him this much in a movie since River of Grass,
Habit?
probably. Habit. Okay, yeah, Habit.
Habit's a good one.
Habit, yeah. Habit, River of Grass. Those would be like the last two where we really saw that. This is 100%. Okay, it's a great movie all the way through. I love this movie. But if you just want the Fessenden show, you can watch the first 40 minutes and you have got a Larry Fessenden movie. And it's got an arc. It feels like 3 solid acts. The setup is this seance, and there is, at the end of the first act, there is something major that happens. I won't spoil it, and it completely changes what the movie is. It really does. It takes everything, it flips it on its head. It is it's kind of a chamber drama. About 95% of the movie takes place in a single location with a small cast. It's mostly dialogue, although there are some amazing practical effects. They did a great job of doing everything on set and in camera. It's not overly showy, but if you have Shudder, go and watch Brooklyn 45. If you haven't seen it yet, go and watch it. And then also tweet at Ted Gagan, because he'll respond to you. He has made the joke that he is just sitting on his couch frantically Googling for anyone talking about his movie. So
That's cool. I started to watch it, but I didn't get to finish it. And I'm up to where they're all meeting at the house and kind of talking about how he's fallen apart. So I'm anxious to finish that.
What was that, Joey? Bring that back up.
It's in Messenger.
Well, but it's Joey's over here.
It's not nothing to do with this.
Oh, okay. He's over here throwing porn up in the conversation and then taking it away before I can get a good look. I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, guys. What else do we want to talk about tonight? What you guys got shaking?
Not much.
Yeah, I besides the Boogeyman and Night Screams, I watched a really cool flick called Doghouse. So it's from 2009, and it's a UK film, and it's like a comedy horror about some guys that take a bus out in the middle of nowhere. They're just gonna have a getaway, and they end up in this like just little town, and there's like nobody around. They kind of wandering around trying to figure out what's going on, and they kind of stumble across some zombie females. So there's something happening in the film that only is making the females become zombies.
Okay.
And they're a lot like they're more like demons, almost like the Demons movies or Evil Dead type of thing.
Yeah.
They're more like that really than zombies. So it's awesome. I love it.
Okay.
Highly recommend that one.
Do we know who's in it or who directed it? What do you know?
I don't.
No, okay.
I know I recognize one of the guys in it from some other UK horror film I've seen, but no, I don't.
It's called Doghouse?
Doghouse, yeah.
Doghouse. All right, we're going to find it.
2009.
2009. There it is. Jake West. Directed by Jake West. Written by Dan Schaefer with Danny Dyer, Noel Clark, and Emil Marwa. Okay.
Yeah, definitely don't recognize the names, but I did. Yeah. There were one or two guys in there that I know I've seen in some other films.
I'm going to have to track that down.
Then I watched The Black Demon, and it was terrible. That's a really bad movie. Because I thought it was going to be a big shark movie, but you hardly see the shark like maybe twice the whole movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. It's really weird. Very bad. It's more about these two dudes clashing. This guy who does he goes to these like oil rigs and just kind of overlooks everything, makes sure everybody's performing properly, safety checks, stuff like that, inspections. And then he finds that like everybody's dead except for a couple guys, and then most of the movie is just them two bickering back and forth. It's really it's kind of weird. Okay. So I would not recommend that one. And then Influencer. I don't remember who.
That's on Shudder. I just watched that. Yeah.
It's not bad.
Right. I saw that for the first time on the just the cover. On the Amazon Prime. That's what I use, and I have a Shudder subscription through there. So I just saw that today, and I thought, I might have to watch that one.
Yeah, it ain't bad. Cool. It ain't bad. Yeah. It's got
and then it's got its moments. It's interesting. And then the last one I think I watched this week was Sugar, which I actually just watched that today. It's similar in a way. I mean, it's two social media influencers go on a cruise ship, and one of them is like in debt with like it's like a mafia or something. Not really a mafia, but some gang anyway. And she didn't tell this girl this. She was just like, "Hey, we're gonna go have fun," but she was really trying to get her to like I don't know, smooze these guys over so she can like steal money or something. It didn't make a lot of sense to me, but it was
kind of like the one I watched recently, Spree, which was about a social media influencer who was so desperate to go viral. He got a job as a driver, would pick people up and end up killing them by putting poison into bottles of water. And
there's another similar one called Like
really
Me.
Good.
That's actually really good.
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, it's very similar.
But yeah, Spree is a really really good, unique film to watch.
Yeah, they had the dude from Stranger Things in it. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
David Arquette's in it as well.
Huh?
David Arquette.
Yeah.
Oh,
David
yeah.
Arquette. Yeah.
He plays the dad.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's good. I actually found that at Dollar Tree on DVD, which I don't normally pick up DVDs, but I grabbed it. But then, yeah. And then later I found it with a slipcover on Blu-ray for $1.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Picked it up.
Nice.
I love Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
You can find some surprising movies at Dollar Tree.
We did a rewatch of all of the Insidious movies this week.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to say those movies are very overrated. And
I couldn't get into the first one.
It's honestly, it's the Lin Shaye show. And just watch for Lin Shaye. And I think at the end of the first one, they were all like, oh, fuck, why'd we kill Lin Shaye? That's all we got. So then it's like, we have to either, she's a ghost, and now it's a prequel, so we can see her before this, and it's always just another way to keep Lin Shaye in it.
Yeah.
So they know what they're doing.
You can't blame them, because she's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Huge fan of Lin Shaye. I'd watch anything with Lin Shaye in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's the whole point. And now we're going to rewatch all of the Conjuring movies, which are also horribly overrated.
And both star Patrick Wilson, so...
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly why we ended up with The Conjuring. So the best thing about, like, the Conjuring movies is at the end, when they show, like, pictures of the real people those are about. And so you're like, oh, Vera Farmiga, oh, she is yummy. Patrick Wilson, well, that's a good-looking guy. Let's look at the actual Warrens.
Warren.
Oh, my God, these are uggos. What the fuck?
They're, like, very eccentric people.
Well, he's a rapist, and she was a grifter, so...
Yeah.
I mean, eccentric's not the right word.
Well, I didn't know any of that.
Yeah. They were horrible human beings. They were grifters, and yes, he was a rapist, and she helped him cover it up for years.
Ooh, I have never heard that, and I should know that because, I
look it up.
I'm a paranormal investigator for
They're
a
like
while,
the worst people who ever lived, and I'm glad they're dead.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing is when those movies do something like, ooh, here's when the church called us in to Amityville to look into the Lutz haunting. And then you go like, really? And you Google it. No.
Nope, not real.
What happened is they just showed up and were like, we're here. And everybody was like, fuck off, grifters. Fuck off, grifters. And mostly because the Lutzes didn't want someone else stepping on their grift because, you know. you know the Lutzes made it up, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
He admitted at one point that him and his buddy were just slamming whiskeys, going, "What if flies? That would creep people out." Yeah. Sorry, I'm just shitting on everybody's parade.
Yeah,
you're fine.
No gods, no masters.
No.
Anyway, I don't like the Warrens. You know what I do also love about them, though? That creepy ass Annabelle was a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it is currently in their nephew, John Zaffis, who's a demonologist. It's in his museum.
I mean, there's nothing less scary than Raggedy Ann.
Yeah.
No, I take it back. Raggedy Andy is less scary. But...
She's in a glass case.
Yeah.
So you mean the one that I photographed at Monster Palooza wasn't the original one?
You better hope not.
Uh,
All right, what else, guys?
I got this little thing I want to show off. So this is it's a DVD set. Yeah.
DVD? What year is this?
It's 200 films with 50 discs of Grindhouse Cinema.
Wow.
It's got like a shadow box cover. And I got it off of eBay. These normally sell for like 150 plus. And this dude, I just started bidding on it, and I got it for $40. Shit.
Nice.
Oh my God. That's cool.
And he threw in a 32 film Grindhouse set that had like 20 discs or something with it. But yeah, see, they're unopened. So the box was open, but the discs were unopened.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty.
What's in there? What's in there?
Oh my God, there's all sorts of stuff. I mean,
give me a highlight.
Just some of the stuff. I don't know about highlights, but we got Cave Girl, Blue Money, Alien Zone, World, The French Quarter, The Hearse.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Horror High, House of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
I Eat Your Skin.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Jocks. I've heard of Jocks. Katie's Passion sounds nice. The Creeping Terror. But yeah, it's got a book with it that just shows you all of the it doesn't have any pictures or anything, but just has a list of all of them, what disc they're on. But yeah, I was pretty excited to get this for that price. I definitely don't want to pay $175 for it, but I'll take it for $40.
So
you'll pay $100 for a little toy figure.
Yeah,
I know.
Back in the day, I bought some of those crazy DVD sets like that had like a couple hundred movies on there, and honestly, mostly it's normally junk, but they're like enough gems to make it worth the money.
Right.
Yeah.
In the pile of things you never heard of, every once in a while, there's a Mitchell.
Yeah. No, there is some good stuff on there. It's definitely worth $40. And then they have a horror one too that's also got 200 films that it usually sells for about $80 to $90. So I may try and pick it up too at some point.
That bolsters the collection.
Yeah, for sure.
I got so the mail today brought me my Blu-ray of Adam Wingard's The Guest. I've been
that's a good movie.
Yeah, I've been planning to pick that up for a while. It just came. I got something else that showed up a couple of days ago that I actually had forgotten was coming.
Porn.
Maybe. I don't remember what it was. I don't even remember what it was.
That's pretty bad that you order so many movies you can't remember. Right
Sometimes the mail is a surprise. It's like, what the fuck is this box? And I open it up. Oh yeah, I pre-ordered those months ago. Yeah. Every once in a while, I accidentally buy the same movie twice.
Wow. Yeah, Joey never does that. He's done that so much that sometimes I know that he's bought it twice before he even knows.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was, but he's like, look at what I got. And I'm like, dude, that movie's already sitting in your living room. I looked at that last week.
Wait, how many copies of Videodrome do you have?
But that's on purpose.
Well, I'm doing
that's
it
on purpose.
I like to get every version of one movie I really love.
Right, but the problem is you're getting the same version.
Same version, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
You see that one dude who buys like every copy of the VHS of Titanic?
Oh, have you seen the dude with the DVDs of the B movie?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the same thing in a sense.
That's crazy. Okay, so I kind of get the B movie thing, but Titanic?
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah. Well, guys, anything else?
No, not really.
Before we wrap up this impromptu, unplanned, our guest didn't show up because she hates us, Bloodfest. Huh? Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
We're still going to have her on someday. I think Debbie's just busy. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up in a minute. But before we do, let me remind you to go out there to the Facebook and find Bloodfest Pod. On the Twitter, we're at Bloodfest Pod. Bloodfest Podcast on YouTube. On TikTok, we're something, I don't know. We're on Instagram as Bloodfest the Podcast. We're on Pinterest and probably MySpace. We've got a website, www.bloodfestpodcast.com, www.bloodfestpodcast.com, but that's not the important one right now. Right now, go out and look for huntforbarbara.crampton.us. Huntforbarbara.crampton.us. So Barbara Crampton is the original Scream Queen. She is a goddess. She is the person we stan. We stan this legend. Say it with me, guys. We stan a legend, Barbara Crampton. And we want Ms. Crampton to come on the show. And to that end, I will give up anything to make it happen. So if you know Barbara Crampton, or know someone who knows Barbara Crampton, or know someone who knows someone who knows Barbara Crampton, or know someone who knows someone who knows Barbara Crampton's hairstylist, get a hold of them. Tell them to reach out to us. We need Barbara Crampton. Now, with that, I'm going to throw this off to something crazy. So I haven't actually seen this.
I have.
But yeah, Joey has. And
Just last night, actually.
he's responsible for what's about to happen to all
Oh,
of
God.
you. So,
God.
the movie we're gonna show you a trailer, guys. It's a movie trailer.
Is it the right one? The right trailer this time?
I don't know. We'll find out. So this is a movie from 1993, directed by Mark Nowicki, starring Carl Schering, Edward Tanner, Laura Cummings. It's about a loner guy who turns into a girl in order to lure and kill other girls. Without further ado, here's the trailer for The Nostril Picker.
Meet Joe. Joe's got a gift.
You can change yourself into anybody. Well, even a woman, if that's what you want.
Joe's got some new friends.
I haven't seen you around before. Are you new here?
Yeah, my folks and I just moved in. I can make that little girl your best friend if that's what you want.
Joe's also got a problem. He loves young girls. In fact, he loves them to death. Now, Joe's coming to your neighborhood. We think you should see him. In fact, we dare you.
Okay, so the title that's on screen there, The Changer, not a great title, but I might watch it. Joey told us about the alternate title, The Nostril Picker. I would never watch a movie called The Nostril Picker.
No.
Okay, so that's just you lied to me, Joey.
That's
You
what
lied to me.
goes by, the
It looks
nostril
bad.
picker.
It looks bad. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Necrophiles bad or
I didn't see any nose picking in the.
It's on no nose picking.
Trust me, there's definitely nose picking.
Oh, okay.
But is it like with a knife nose picking?
No, like
just like a
knuckle
guy
deep in his
just
nose.
digging for boogers. Okay, well,
That's how he has his ability to change into a girl, is picking his nose.
Hold up.
Okay.
What?
So
What?
he goes digging for boogers and it turns him into a woman?
Yeah. So when you see him on screen, to them they're seeing a girl.
Because he picked his nose.
Because he picked his nose and he transformed into a girl. So to them, they're interacting with a fellow classmate.
And this is okay, so
I actually really kind of want to watch that now.
Yeah.
all right. So look. All right, never mind. Good night, everybody. Catchphrase.